Welcome to the I Can Do TV show. I created this program to bring awareness to people about a workout alternative. There are many different workout programs available. However, most of them are aimed at the younger adult. The I Can Do program is geared toward the mature adult who understands the benefits of staying active, but isn't necessarily into the idea of the fast-paced Zumba or aerobics, or interested in spending hours walking on a treadmill or sitting on a stationary bike. The I Can Do program will teach you how to use the walking cane as a tool for exercise and self-defense. The program will also introduce you to new ways of dealing with limiting thoughts, thus helping you to stay motivated to continue working out, which will enable you to maintain a great quality of life. While the I Can Do TV show is a great start, it isn't a replacement for quality instruction from a certified instructor. Now, let's get started. I want to quickly cover with you what we're going to do with the cane at points when we're not using the cane for exercises. And you would also use this at times whether you're in the store, even around the home, when you need both hands for doing something, but you want to keep your cane close to you. Your first choice is hooking your cane in your pocket, or hooking it in your waistband or your belt. And the reason for this is because if something does happen, and someone starts coming for you, you can grab for the cane immediately and be ready to deal with them. But at the same time, when you need your hands free, they're free. Think of it as the old West-style kind of quick draw of the pistol. It's the quick draw for your cane.
We're filming today on location at the beautiful Friendship Gardens in San Jose. We wanted to start bringing you some beautiful nature in our episodes. So enjoy the nature and let's get working out. We're going to start with warming up our wrists. We're going to do the prayer stretch, the yoga prayer stretch. We're going to put our hands together and bring them down. Now it's really important to remember to warm up your wrists when doing exercises and activities with the cane, because that does put a lot of strain and weight onto the wrists. Now we want to keep in mind to keep the shoulders relaxed. We want to stop at a point where our palms are together and we feel resistance, but we're not going to try and push past the resistance. All right, we're just going to hang out in the resistance and just sort of breathe at that point and just relax into that point. You see, the wrists are not like, say, our hamstrings. When we're doing a hamstring stretch and we're stretching the muscle, we can try and push it a little bit further, and kind of try and go more intense. However, for the wrists, we're talking about tendons and ligaments. And so with that, you want to play it safe. Now we're going to turn the wrists over and pull up. Now it's important to keep in mind, you see how Bob is bringing his hands separate enough that the palms come apart? You don't want to do that. You want to back it off so the palms stay together and just hang out at that resistance point. Now I don't know if you can see, but Bob is wearing a wrist brace. He has a wrist injury. It's okay to work out with an injury to a point. You want to go to just that edge. You don't want to push into the pain. You just want to go to the edge where the pain's kind of hinting, because it's at that point research has talked about the possibility of helping the injury to heal faster. If you push past that point, then you run the risk of increasing the injury. So now let's go ahead and relax, gently shake it out. Now we're going to deepen the wrist stretch. We're going to do the single-handed cane rotations. You're going to grab your cane in a mid-shaft grip. So you're grabbing about halfway in the cane. You're going to take your hand and you're going to go from either palm up to palm down, or if you're starting with your palm already down, palm down to palm up. You're going to support under the wrist, and you're just going to go back and forth. The idea is, again, to warm up the tendons and the ligaments and the muscles involved in the forearm and the movement of the wrist. Now from there, first off, do not do it necessarily fast. Go at a nice, slow, and comfortable pace. From there, you're going to move your hand back behind your elbow, and you're going to open up the turn a little bit more, going deeper into the turn. But allow these 3 fingers to relax. And you're only holding on with the index finger and the thumb. Okay? The idea is you're now at a point where you can start to deepen the stretch. Now from there, you're going to move your hand to your chest, and now you're going to go full range of motion. Okay? Do this a few times. And now go ahead and change hands. Doing it again a few times. Now, again, I want to bring up if you're working with an injury, modify as you need. If you find this is too intense for the injury, you feel it's aggravating the injury, it's okay to back off. Either not go full rotation, just go in half rotation works fine too. All right? Now move your hand back behind the elbow if you have not already. And then finally, move your hand to your chest, full range of motion. Okay? And I do want to stress, you don't want to do the last 2 sections with a death grip. You want to have these 3 fingers relaxed. Otherwise, you do run the risk of overstraining your ligaments and tendons in your wrist. All right, shake your wrists out. All right, so now we're going to warm up our core by doing our ever famous, ever favorite twists. Now, we're going to modify it though, because we have received some feedback from people about feeling it a little bit in their knees. And so what we're going to have Bob do is he's going to pick his foot up as he turns through, and he's going to put his toe on the ground. So he's still practicing getting the full range of motion, but he's not digging the ball of his foot into the ground. Less wear and tear on the knees this way. All right? Now, if you don't have a problem with your knees, then go ahead and just do it the way that we've done it before. Now remember though, it is important to turn the hip all the way through. It protects the spine. Now there are some experts out there who encourage you to keep your feet in place, but that's because they're working on increasing the range of motion in the spinal column itself. And they're there with their customers to make sure the customer is doing it right and not injuring their spine. If you don't have an expert with you, then you run the risk of injuring your spine if you keep your feet planted. So you really do want to rotate the feet. All right, now go ahead and shake it out. All right, so now we're going to move into warming up our hamstrings, the back of our legs. So I'm going to have Bob do the triangle stretch. So what he's going to do is he's going to form the tripod with the cane, his back leg, and his front leg. He's going to have both legs straight, then put a slight bend in the front leg, rock the hips back, and then try and put his chin towards the other wall. Okay? In this case, obviously we're working with bushes, but at home you're going to try and put your chin towards the wall. You don't want to be trying to move it to the ground at this stage, okay? Because that shifts the focus of the stretch. All right? And it's also kind of put strain on the back. In this particular case, we're going to hang out here, and if he wants to try and deepen the stretch, then he's going to move his chin closer to the other wall. Okay? Now we're going to have him switch sides. Remember, when coming up from the triangle stretch, don't just stand up. Push up with the cane, put your hand on your legs, and use your arms to come up. Protect your back. All right? And again, to deepen the stretch, the chin comes more. And you don't have to go very deep to make this a very intense stretch. All right? And it works wonders. Stretching your hamstrings is really important because if you slip, the muscle that you pull or tear most often in a slip is your hamstring. And then Bob's going to come up, shake it out. We're going to practice our side kick today. I'm going to have Bob demonstrate it a few times for you, and then we're going to talk about the tactics of the side kick. Okay? Now remember, for the side kick, we're bringing the knee up. For practice, you want to try and bring your knee up as high as you can and then just down to the side. Boom. Boom. Okay. That helps strengthen the legs, helps strengthen your abductors, the muscles on the sides that help you raise your legs, helps give you buns of steel. Now, at home, practice that. Practice that with both legs. But I want to take a moment to talk to you about tactics, when you would use this kick, okay? You see, in movies and in a lot of martial arts systems, when you see them out there and they're sparring, they're fighting, right? You see the guy standing with his chest turned this way, right? So like I'm facing the camera, I'm not facing the bad guy here. So you see the leg come up and boom, they kick. But the problem is if you're starting out like this, or if the person comes in and you're at arm's distance, because really to execute a side kick appropriately, you need greater than arm's distance. But if I'm here at arm's distance, then all of a sudden, I don't have enough time to turn and get myself into the proper position, or I've got to step away, which basically tells them, hey, I'm about to kick. I'm telegraphing my moves. But what if we're here in arm's distance, okay, and instead, you know, if I'm blocking this, instead of bringing the knee straight up, because I can't side kick this way, right, I bring the knee out to the side a bit. So I come up at an angle, boom, and then side kick down, okay? And the idea is my target is his knee. Now to show you in the end what you want to look like, I'm going to have Bob support himself on the cane and this leg. The reason for this is because if I were to execute this in a way to move his leg, I would pop his knee. I would destroy his knee. And I like Bob, so I don't want to do that, okay? So the idea is, again, we're punch distance. I block, whatever. I bring the leg up. I come into the knee. Boom. Okay? You do that at force. You do that with force and speed. It's going to pop his knee. So up, not straight. You come up at an angle, and then side kick out. Okay? You don't have to have a massive force to blow someone's knee. You just have to be on the side of the knee. And doing the side kick in this way, I don't have to sit there and have these tremendous, impressive looking side kicks. I can just be functional. Boom. And my opponent's down. Okay, side kick, how to use it. So this combination we're going to go over now is going to use the high block, which we use to protect our head. And then we're going to hold the cane in a natural grip, and then we're going to swing at the bad guy's leg. Okay? The idea is if you take out their leg, they're not going to be able to continue coming after you. So you're going to high block and hit the leg. I'm going to step back while Bob demonstrates. Okay? Now do not hold your breath while doing these activities. All right? You want to make sure to breathe. If you hold your breath, well, the bad guy wins because you pass out. All right? And also don't laugh while doing them either. Okay? Now, some important notes. Okay? When you're doing the high block, the instinct is to try and push their hand away. You know, it's like I'm trying to wave in front of my face. No, you want to come up and stop. You want to tighten the muscles at the top. Okay? So your arm is relaxed and then it explodes. And as it explodes, the hit happens. Boom. Okay? Boom. The reason is, this way they don't have time to react, but two, you're not creating this big opening. Because if I block and I push them away, then my side is completely exposed. So it's block and stop and hit. All right? Practice that at home with both sides. We're going to do another block strike combination. This time we're going to do an inside forearm or inner forearm block. So it means your forearm faces you, your hand faces you, but make a fist. You block and then you're going to do a hit to the groin. So you're holding in a natural grip. So block, you're hitting them in the groin. Okay? Idea here is, of course, if you hit them in the groin, they're going to be way too distracted to want to continue mugging you. Okay, so Bob's going to show you a few times. Okay. Now, one of the notes I want to make is, as you're doing this, you don't just stop here. you want to turn the shoulders, because by turning the shoulders, I add more power into my hit and more strength into my block. Because if I stay straight on, this can be crashed because it just keeps everything into the shoulders. And the shoulders are a small muscle group dealing with the force of a punch. You want to basically come up and then turn the shoulders so that you're kind of out at a 45-degree angle. So you come up, block, and hit. All right, and that turning the shoulders becomes a whipping action for the cane. Boom, boom. Okay? And breathe. Don't forget to breathe. You can tell when Bob's holding his breath because his lips turn blue. All right, now practice both sides at home. And remember, if you need to, go ahead and pause the episode at any point if you want to work an exercise longer than we do in the show. And I would recommend maybe visiting our website where we have all the episodes uploaded, or most of the episodes uploaded, and review earlier episodes to make sure that you stay on top of the techniques. This combination is going to use the bayonet, which is a move we learned in earlier episodes where we grab it both hands, and like the old riflemen in World War II had the big old knives, you're going to drive it in, okay? But we're going to do a reverse grip, an overhand grip, not a common way of doing the bayonet, but because we know we're going to flow into a takedown of our opponent. Now, my cane, this is my street cane, and you can see how it's got all these wedges and ridges in it. So I'm going to actually use Bob's cane, which is more of a training cane, okay? So it's basically nicer and easier on him this way.
Save me.
Don't. So bayonet, boom, doubles them over, because a stick into the stomach hurts. You come around, you form a circle around the head, and boom, into the neck area. You're pushing, okay? It's not a smack, it's a push down, okay? You can sink your weight into it as well, though, because I don't really want to face plant Bob into this grass, I'm not going to sink my weight into it. But you come in, reverse grip, boom, circle around, and down they go, okay? If you control the head, all grappling martial arts will tell you, if you control the head, you control the body. So bayonet in and down, okay? Now the opponent may not be out of the fight, but they're going to clearly get the message, you're not a victim. So bayonet, down. Practice this, become comfortable and familiar, especially from going in, come out a little bit and circle around, okay? You don't want to do a big circle, just enough to clear the head and in. You want this to be a fast action. This next action we're going to do, still using the bayonet, we're going to go back to our normal bayonet grip. Bayonet in, boom, okay? This is a distraction. Maybe the person doesn't double over, so I can't do the takedown, boom. So I come back, I just allow the hand to slide back, baseball style swing into the leg, okay? So boom, into the leg. What's going to happen is you're going to take out the muscle or the knee itself. They're going to be distracted at this point. They're not going to be able to follow you. So again, bayonet in, hand slides down. This hand, of course, stays in place. You come back. You don't come all the way back. You don't have that much time. Bayonet and boom. In, boom. Okay? In and boom. In and boom. Okay? So practice that. Practice with both hands and make sure you're comfortable with it. We'd love to hear from you on Facebook, or email us or call us for feedback. We want to know what your thoughts are on how we can improve the show. And if you like the show, tell us what you like. We just love to hear from you. Thanks, and have a great day.
So today's episode, we're going to talk about gratitude concerning money. We've covered this topic before, but today we're going to approach it from a slightly different perspective. You see, well, a lot of us grow up with the idea that having to pay our bills, having bills to pay, is kind of a bad thing. And we get reminded of how tight money can be and how maybe we don't have all the funds, all the money we'd like, because maybe some bills we can't pay, on time because, in today's economy, money can really be tight. But what we're going to do is we're going to turn our thoughts around, because remember, our thoughts influence our actions, influence our choices. And so if we have a negative thought about the bills we have to pay, then that really kind of tells our subconscious mind that we have a negative thought about money. And if we have negative thoughts about money, then we will be hindered in our ability to generate more money and to be open to receiving and seeing the opportunities to earn more money. So what we're going to do is we're going to take those bills, and any bills that you have unpaid, what you're going to do is you're going to take those bills out and you're going to write on those bills, thank you for the money. Okay? Now, after you pay the bill, you're going to write on it, thank you, paid. All right? So the first thing you're going to write is thank you for the money. The second thing after you've paid the bill is thank you, paid. Now, if it takes you a little bit of time to pay the bill, that's okay. You still write on there, thank you for the money. Now, if you are one of the people who are more modern and they pay everything online, well, you do generally get an invoice from the company like PG&E. They'll send you a little invoice via email. Print that out and then write on there, thank you for the money, and then thank you, paid. All right. Now, additionally, let's take this a little bit deeper. Let's go ahead and say, find 10 bills from the past, bills that you have paid. What you're going to do is you're going to take those 10 bills and you're going to write on them, thank you, paid. The idea is to start training the subconscious mind to see itself paying the bills, having the money to pay the bills. And by showing gratitude for the money in this way, you're going to find that you're more open to seeing and receiving opportunities to gain more. Now, in today's episode, well, the Cain technique, it's kind of the same thing. It's still being thankful for the opportunity to train, for the opportunity to work out, the opportunity to continue pushing your body to grow, and seeing more opportunities in your life to be able to expand and grow in this way. And being open to exploring the limits of what you can do. So be thankful and grateful for the opportunity. Thank you very much for tuning in, and have a great day. I can do!